All right. Sorry about that. I am Landyn again, obviously. um, and here again I have Sam.
Hello.
Today we are going to discuss basically our coming out stories to you, and then a little bit of like embarrassing, type moments being trans. All right. So I think this time I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let Sam start off. So go ahead, Sam.
Uh, okay, well, so I guess I came out first to my sisters. And how I found out that I was transgender is because, well, first I came out as, like, lesbian. And then, I was like, well, wait, that doesn't feel right either. But like, I've always wanted to be a boy, and I always knew that I was a boy. I just didn't really know that there was a term for it. So, I remember, I was watching Degrassi, and they had an episode with Adam, and then that's when I found out the term transgender, and then that's how I knew that I was transgender. And so then I told my sisters, and then I think my sisters told some other people or something. I don't know, but when I came out to my mom, uh, I remember writing a note to her, and I slipped it under her door, knocked on it, and then I ran to, ran down the hall and into my room. And then I didn't come out to my father until a couple years later, but I was in San Diego, and um, I called him and I told him that I was transgender. He was like, "No shit." Like, he said he already knew that, but I thought it was really cool because he flew out over to San Diego and he marched in the Pride Parade with me, and we were holding the transgender flag, so it was pretty cool.
Shoot. My story, I mean, I'm just gonna start off with this basically. If not for Samuel here and Aiden, I probably would have never came out, to be quite honest. Um, so basically, I've always felt from a young age that I was really different. Never been attracted to a man, and I thought I was a weird little little girl at the time. So I kind of just kept it to myself. I used to get teased in like middle school and stuff because I would always dress like a boy, and when people would call me gay or whatever, I'd flip out on them and be like, I'm straight," but it didn't even sound right coming out of my mouth. Um, but so I guess like I've been lesbian for a while, and I remember it was freshman year of high school. I finally came out as being gay, and that's when I started dating females, openly. And my mom wasn't too happy about that at all either. Like, she kind of just accepted it, I guess. And I remember one day we were all like me, her, and I don't remember who I was dating at the time, but we were all just sitting outside, and she started talking about transgenders, and then she looked at me and she was like, "I'm okay with you being gay, but please tell me you're not trying to be like those girls out there who are turning into guys," and da da da, kind of just bashing on it. So at that point I was just like, well, this is not the time to come out. So I was just like, no, So I never came out. I would say about last year sometime, because I started dating my wife about 2 years ago almost, and that's when I met Aiden. I've known Sam since high school, like I said. So, but I met Aiden, and Aiden was a really good friend of my wife's, and he kind of just explained everything to me, and him and Sam were there for me. So it made it easier for me to realize that, hey, I'm not gay, I am transgender, and that's I've always been that way. And when I told my mom about it, she cried and was like, "I love you, but this is something I can never accept." And we stopped talking for a while, and then she finally came around to it. I had some family members who kind of just, yay, hey, we got another nephew or, another grandson or, and the ones that were just like, excuse me, that didn't accept it. But, coming out for me was pretty easy because, like I said, I had the support from people, and then, like I said, if not for Sam and Aiden, there's no chance in how I probably would have ever came out. So, I thank them for that. But yeah, that's a little bit of my story. Kind of boring, but not. Um, I mean, for those of you guys, struggling to come out, there's always people to talk to. There's always supporters out there. I mean, you can always reach out to Samuel or myself, or, there's a whole community out there for people just like you and I and Samuel and everybody, that'll be there to talk to you, especially if you're having trouble coming out. There's people out there who can help you out with that. And if you're not ready to come out, there's people there to talk to you and help you through your time of trying not to I'm not sure what I'm trying to say right now, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so Sam, what was your most embarrassing moment in being trans?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I think one of them was I was going through airport security, and for whatever reason, I always seem to get singled out to get checked, or even with Border Patrol. They always pull me over and search me and all that crap. But it's just really weird. I don't know why. But I don't know. Maybe I just like give them a weird smile or something like that. But so I'm going through the security check, and they pull me over. They're like, okay, we need to search you and pat you down. And then they turn to me. They're like, oh, don't take this personally, but are you a boy or a girl? I was like, oh. It's like, I mean, that was pretty embarrassing at the time. Because it was in front of everybody and they were really fucking loud. But, so, yeah. That was one of them. I have many, but I can't think of, that one just popped up at the top of my head. So.
I mean, speaking on behalf of what, Samuel just said, I actually, just straight off topic right quick, as far as this, it wasn't embarrassing for me. It was kind of, disrespectful, just for the fact that it was just me and the officers. But recently, just got pulled over. I got my brand new, ID, it says my name on it. And as you guys saw in one of my videos, it changed to male on my gender marker. So my wife accidentally gives them both my IDs. So the one that has my old name and my old gender on it. And so she leaves and he's trying to write me my citation or whatever. And so he was like, so why do you have two names? And I just looked at him and I was like, I don't have two names. My name is Landyn. It's on the ID you have in front of you. And he was like, well, I have another one right here that says blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's an old ID. There's obviously, a hole in it. They hole punched it, legally. Ooh, excuse me again. This is who I am. So he has the nerve and audacity to look at me and be like, don't take offense to this, but are you a male or female? And I was like, my ID says I'm male. And then I was like, if you must know, I'm transgendered. I'm going through the transition and everything. And he looks at me and he's like, so technically you're a female. So, I mean, come on. I mean, that's really disrespectful for the fact that I legally went through this whole process to get my name changed and my gender changed just for some guy in a uniform to look at me and tell me I'm technically a female. I mean, it just, it sucks. And especially because he saw an old ID of mine that I look nothing like now, and then, I got all the legal documents, legally everything changed, and he still had the nerve to do that. So that did kind of suck, and hey, I mean, it does happen, and it'll probably continue to happen throughout my life, but there's nothing really we can do about it. I mean, people nowadays are just so simple-minded, and just, they can't wrap their head around the fact that, we as humans are actually evolving, and some of them just, kind of want to stay in the back and just believe their own things, you know. So we still got those simple-minded people out there that just believe what they want to believe, and they don't care that the world's taking steps, you know, further in recognizing not just the trans community, but, you know, all of the LGBT community. So, I mean, there's nothing really, like I said, we can really do about it, but just keep fighting and stand your ground. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing in court when I go on the 12th because of this whole situation. But as far as embarrassing moments for me, when I had first started T, like I said, if you've watched most of my videos, when I first started T, my voice wasn't as deep, you know, I didn't have my facial hair, I still was really feminine. So, and I was still really, even though, you know, by this time I was still going by Landyn or everything, and a month on T, I was still really uncomfortable using the male's restroom, you know, in public. And, you know, I was still uncomfortable using the female, but at the time I was like, hey, I can still, you know, pass off here, whereas if I was to go in the male, everybody would be like, you know, what the fuck? But I mean, come to think of it now, if you go into a men's restroom, they're not like females. They go in there, they do their business, they don't even look at you, they don't care who goes in there, they do their business, wash their hands, most of them at least, and get the fuck out. As where if you go into a female's bathroom, they're going to stop and look at you and gossip and, you know. But I was going into the female's restroom and, you know, I had this little girl staring at me and I went into the stall, you know, and I'm sitting there or whatever, and then I hear the mom and her, you know, talking and I just, you know, they're just like trying to, I don't know if they were trying to be quiet about it or not, but they were just like, oh, you know, and her little girl like, mommy, there's a boy in that stall, and you know, the mother's over there like, you know, hey, you know, Mija, you know, you don't know if that's a girl or a boy, and blah, 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 like, you shouldn't be talking about them. And so I just come out, and they're still there, and both of them got quiet, and they're looking at me, and I kind of just smiled at them and washed my hands and walked out the bathroom. So, I mean, it was pretty embarrassing when I first came out, so that's probably one of the worst of them.
That, like, sparks up a bunch of different stories, but, I remember, okay, this one was like one that kind of pissed me off. So, I went over to my old apartments, and this was before I moved out to the ones that I'm at right now. So, my dad and I were sitting there, we're talking to the apartment manager, and you know he's calling me his son, and Samuel, and that's my name is legally Samuel, and so this lady, she's sitting there, and you know, at first she was calling me Samuel, but then I think she started, because something that always threw me off was my voice, and so she's sitting there, and I think that she's starting to realize, like, oh, this person is physically female. And, well, she sits there, she's looking at me, and, she starts calling me ma'am. I'm like, excuse me, like, and then, at work, she comes in, and she's talking to her kids and saying, like, tell her, and thank you, ma'am. I'm like, bitch, where the fuck, when have you ever seen a female with the name Samuel? Like, legally, my name is Samuel. When have you ever seen a man named Samuel? I mean, a woman named Samuel. And it's like, I could have been like a gay dude. She didn't know that.
And basically, that's where the simple-mindedness plays in, because obviously his dad was over here saying his son, you know, using male pronouns, and then just because she feels obligated in the right to just, you know, do what she pleases, and that's where simple-mindedness plays in on this.
And then, I also remember another time at work, I'm taking this person's order, and, you know how kids are always, like, curious and stuff like that. I'm taking this woman's order, and then the kid was like, is that a boy or girl, mommy? I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
oh god. Yeah, that, you know, that was funny. It reminds me when I was at work, you know, on the phone, you know, before my voice got, like, from, like, you know, all the way up here down to here. I was taking an order, and you know, this person, he was just like, ma'am, sir, ma'am. He's like, I'm sorry, sir, ma'am. And then I was like, it's sir. And he was just like, I'm so sorry. He was just like going back and forth, and he kept doing it. I mean, it's like that times that you can't really get mad about it because, you know, some people honestly, excuse me, make mistakes. And, you know, to this day, I still make mistakes. You know, like, it's just human nature. But, like I said, there's still those people out there who just are complete assholes and do it anyways just because they know they're going to get a kick out of it. So I'm that type of person, like, if you're going to mess up my pronouns, you're going to do whatever you want, I don't care. You know, because you're getting your kick out of it, and if I show you that, you know, I'm getting some type of rise out of this, I'm just showing you that you're winning, that you're actually getting to me. But one thing that I've learned being transgender is you can't always let things, you know, get to you, because it's not healthy. Like, you're just gonna make your whole transition a lot harder for yourself if you let people get to you. And being transgender is something, you know, you're going to be battling all your life. You know, doesn't matter how far into your transition you are or what you think, you know, it's going to be a constant battle because not everybody out there is on the same page as, you know, most people out there. So you gotta live with that. People are going to talk shit about you. They're going to, you know, they're going to harass you. They're going to hate on you. You know, it's human nature. It doesn't even have to be about you being transgender. You're always going to have somebody that just doesn't like you because you're you. And you just got to brush it off your shoulder and keep going and just, you know, middle fingers to the world. Like, hey, I'm living my life. I'm doing me. You're doing you. And if you want to take your time to hate on me, by all means, go ahead, because obviously, you know, you can't keep me off your mind if you got something to always say about me. And that's just how I see it.
God gave you 2 middle fingers for a reason.
Exactly. use your big boy voices out there, guys. You know, stand up for yourself. Don't let people, you know, don't let people harass you. It doesn't matter how big, how small. Like, people will come in all different types and sizes. But, you know, if you're gonna let somebody tear you down, then I mean, I don't know where to go from there because, like I said, it's going to happen all your life. It doesn't even have to be about you being transgender. People are just going to not like you because you're you. And you just got to, you know, stand up and walk away. Because in the end, who's making who happy? Like, they're not in your life making you happy. It's all about you. And that's all you got to think about, really. And that's kind of just how I get through my days now. So, but yeah. Sorry the video was so long, but I mean, it's not short, and it was educational and fun, and you guys got to see our amazing faces again. So, until we think of another one for you guys, I think that's all I have for you guys.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Alright, so until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, you know, to both our pages, and we'll see you guys next time.